All right, let's jump right in. We've got a story today that sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi novel. We're talking about ancient faith meeting cutting-edge artificial intelligence. Seriously, someone actually proposed creating an AI pope. And the reason it got shot down, well, that's where things get really interesting. It tells us a ton about where we might be headed with all this new tech.
Okay, so let me ask you something. What if you could get advice from an AI version of, well, anyone? Think about it. A famous scientist, a philosopher, maybe even a historical leader. You could just talk to them. Kind of wild, right? Well, it turns out a tech company thought this was a pretty brilliant idea too.
And they went big. Someone literally walked into the Vatican and pitched this, an AI avatar of the current pope, Leo XIV. The whole idea was pretty straightforward. You'd go to a website and boom, you could have a one-on-one chat with this AI pope. Ask it anything you want. Talk about global outreach, right? So what did the pope say? Well, his answer was fast and it was final. He just looked at them and said, "I'm not going to authorize that." That's it. No, let me think about it. No back and forth. Just a hard no. And this is where the story really takes a turn. I mean, you'd think the first American pontiff might be all for using some new tech to connect with people around the globe. So why shut it down so quickly? Well, because this wasn't just about saying no to some fancy website. Oh no, this goes way, way deeper. See, the thing is, his decision had almost nothing to do with the AI avatar itself. Not really. It was all about his deep-seated worries about automation and what it's doing to our society. He's looking at the big picture, and he's genuinely concerned about the kind of future we're all building together. And his fear is pretty specific. He's painting a picture of a future that's split right down the middle, creating two kinds of people. You've got one small group that gets to live these meaningful, purpose-driven lives. And then there's everyone else, the vast majority of people, just trying to survive in a world where machines have made their jobs, their contributions, kind of pointless. Now, to really get why he's so worried about this, we have to do something a little unexpected. We've got to stop looking at today's tech and actually look back, way back, like over 100 years ago. The answer to this very modern problem, it's sitting right there in history. And that brings us to another pope, Leo XIII. So our current pope, Leo XIV, didn't just pick that name out of a hat. He chose it specifically to honor this guy. And that choice is the whole key to this story. You see, Leo XIII was pope during another absolutely massive tech upheaval, the Industrial Revolution. Back in 1891, Pope Leo XIII put out this huge game-changing document called Rerum Novarum. It was basically his direct response to all the chaos the Industrial Revolution was causing. He was tackling the big stuff, fair wages, terrible working conditions, and what to do about all the workers being replaced or taken advantage of by new machines. And there it is. That's the connection. See, just like Leo XIII stepped up to face the Industrial Revolution, our current Pope, Leo XIV, believes he's facing the AI revolution. For him, it's the exact same story, just a different century. He sees the same dangers, the same risks to society playing out all over again. So when you hear all that, it's super easy to think, okay, so the Pope is just anti-tech, right? But that's not it at all. Not even close. In fact, he's been really clear that he's not against innovation. His whole take on this is way more subtle. He's saying, look, as we build all this amazing new stuff, we have to make sure we don't lose the connections between faith, science, and, this is the big one, our own humanity. So really, it all comes down to one core idea, a really powerful one. In his view, technology is just a tool, a seriously powerful tool for sure, but it has one job, to serve us, to help humanity. It should never, ever be about replacing the things that actually give our lives meaning. And that really leaves us with a huge question, doesn't it? And it's not just a question for the Pope. It's for every single one of us. As this AI tech gets more and more powerful, how do we make sure it's actually helping us instead of hurting us? How do we make sure it enhances our humanity instead of taking it away? Definitely something to chew on. Thanks for hanging out with me for this one.